for the Inflation Reduction Act, and I think he should tell the people of Georgia
Hey y'all, I
why he
need
thinks they
to
should
play
have
this.
expensive insulin and why the pharmaceutical companies should be able to charge us whatever they like.
Well, first of all, may I respond? You know, I believe in reducing insulin, but at the same time, you got to eat right. Because you may not know, and I know many people that's on insulin.
Walker about to
and
put
unless
that,
you have eating right.
Walker
insulin
about to
is
put
doing
that
you
soul
no
on it.
good. So you have to get food prices down, and you got to get gas down so they can go get insulin. And you continue to pat yourself on the back, but right now, families are starving. Right now, families are hurting, and they're hurting because of the bills and the laws you're passing right now.
Senator Warnock, I'll give you an opportunity for a
Listen,
rebuttal.
I meet people all the time in my church who are trying to manage their diabetes. I've been there when they've gotten the news that they've got to get an amputation. And I think we're hearing from my opponent tonight that it's their fault that prices of insulin are being gouged. I don't think it's their fault. I think it's the fault of these pharmaceutical companies. Insulin's been around 100 years. The patent was sold for $1. They're engaged in price gouging, and too many people in Washington think they work for the pharmaceutical companies. I work for the people of Georgia.
Well, he's in Washington.
Can I finish? I work for the people.
Here we
You're
go.
in Washington.
And
You
that's
said-
why I stand.
It's about to
in
get
Washington
live.
every
You're in
single
Washington,
day.
and you're the leader.
Mr.
You're
Walker,
in
let's
Washington, you're the
move
leader.
forward if we can. A follow-up question to you,
Oh,
Senator.
come on, bro. Let that man
What's going on
talk.
right now? In
Let him
your
get at
opinion,
him.
Is the answer another stimulus check, or is there a better option out there to deal with this right now?
We passed the Inflation Reduction Act. He's already told you he would vote against it.
It didn't reduce inflation.
He's already told you that he doesn't believe in capping the costs of prescription drugs for people like my 84-year-old mother.
No.
Oh, here we go.
I didn't believe in
I don't think she
reduction.
should have to
Mr. Walker,
choose.
let's let him talk.
Yes.
You'll get a second.
I don't think she should have to choose between buying medicine and buying groceries. And that's why I've stood up for her, and I've stood up for hardworking families every single day, and I've stood against.
But you won't pass reparations, sir.
Being bad actors. They're seeing record profits in the middle of a pandemic.
Who brought the dinner bell in?
Gentlemen, we need to move on to our next topic in the interest of time. So that's election integrity. Tina, it's all yours.
All right, Buck, thank you. Senator Warnock, this question is for you. You have said the new Georgia voting laws implemented after the 2020 election create many obstacles for underserved communities. Yet, there was record turnout in Georgia in the primary this May. According to research done by the Brennan Center for Justice, the African American vote grew approximately 50% from 2018 to 2022's primaries. Senator, can you explain how the law negatively impacts minority votes? You have 60
Yo, Cicely
seconds, sir.
Tyson came back
So I have
to
spent
debate.
my whole career long before coming to the Senate
Moderate,
fighting
I
for
should
voting
say.
rights, because I believe that a vote is a kind of prayer for the world we desire for ourselves and for our children. We register people to vote in my church. And in the Senate, I've stood up for democracy because that's the framework in which we get to fight for all of the things we care about. There is no question that SB 202 makes voting harder.
Hey, baby, you
That is the
hearing this,
intent.
coon?
And the fact that many of our voters are overcoming this hardship doesn't undermine that reality. They made it harder for folks to use the drop box.
Listen to him,
shorten,
coon.
The registration times.
The camera's off.
Folks are saying,
Listen to him,
you shouldn't have
cooning.
you should be able to get food or water in a line. I think the question is more fundamental than that. Why are the lines so long in certain communities and not others? And so I just want to
What is he
encourage
talking
Georgia
about?
voters to keep
What is he
showing up.
talking?
Don't let anybody take
But
your
there were no
voice.
lines
Don't let
long.
anybody take
Everybody
your
said
vote.
it had mostly
It took
waiting
too
10
much to
minutes.
get here, and I'm honored to represent you in the United States Senate.
No, but this is
Senator
he's
Warnock,
talking
thank
about
you. Mr. Walker,
after
we move to you now. In
he passed
2020,
Kemp
Georgia
passed the
became
laws.
the epicenter for questions.
There were no
on
long
voter
lines.
fraud. We'd like
There
to
was no
hear
line
your
at 6
thoughts
o'clock
in
when I
60
went that day.
seconds. Did
I was in
President
there for-
Biden
I had to wait online for
defeat
maybe
former
5 minutes.
President Donald Trump in 2020? Again, sir, you have 60 seconds.
Well,
Where?
first of all,
Nobody
I need to mention
complained.
that He said that SB 202, really, it made it easier to vote and harder to cheat. And she mentioned that more people turned out for the primary. So you gotten good at in Washington. Not
Yeah,
answering
so
the
that's what I'm
question,
saying. What is he
'cause that was
talking
the
about?
question she asked you. And did President Biden win?
That is
President
the
Biden
question.
won. President Biden won, and Senator Warnock won. That's the reason I decided to run, because we need a change in Washington. We need leaders that's going to stand up to foreign leaders. We need people that's going to stand up for people in Georgia.
Baby, I ain't
Because
gonna hold
Senator
you.
Warnock, he
Herschel
went to
Walker
Washington,
sounds
but he forgot about
coherent. I can't
And I want
believe
to
it.
stand for the people of Georgia. He just mentioned he's standing for the people of Georgia, but can
No.
you tell me why he voted with Joe Biden 96% of the time if he was standing for Georgia? That tells you that he's for Joe Biden, I'm for Georgia.
Oh,
Mr. Walker,
snap.
thank you. Now, before we move on,
He's for
gentlemen,
Joe
I'd
Biden.
like to
I'm for
respond to that.
Georgia.
I will give you
Go
that
ahead.
opportunity, sir.
it is-
I will give you that opportunity, Senator. You have 15 seconds to respond.
It is
15.
very clear that my opponent would rather be running against anybody except me.
What are you
But either
talking
me-
about?
There are only two people who are going to sit in
Right.
the seat, either me or my opponent. And I think this race is about who's ready to represent the people of Georgia, and I'm thinking about them every single day.
But if he cut from the same cloth at 96% of the time, I'm running he and Joe Biden because they're the same.
Gentlemen,
They clapped. Uh-oh. Baby,
gentlemen,
they
we are
clapped.
moving on now. This next question, this is a
They
yes
clapped
or
for
no
Herschel.
response.
That
and
don't look good.
This is for both of you, Senator Warnock, yes or no, regardless of who wins in November. Will you accept the outcome?
Yes.
And
You
Mr.
know you
Walker,
lying,
regardless
bruh.
of who wins in
Yes.
November, will you accept the outcome?
Yes.
Thank you very much, gentlemen. Buck, over to you.
Thank you, Tina. We turn now to the topic of abortion. We're going to start with you, Mr. Walker. A week before this debate, a former girlfriend made public accusations.
here we go.
saying you
This is
paid
the
for
question.
Abortion and that you encouraged her to have another. In an ABC News interview this week, you said that the accusations are, quote, all lies. For the voters watching tonight, can you explain the circumstances surrounding these claims? You have 60 seconds.
Well, as I said, that's a lie. And what most thing I put it in a book. One thing about my life is I've been very transparent. Not like
Uh-oh.
the senator. He's hid things. But at the same time, I said that's a lie. And on abortion, I'm a Christian. I believe in life.
Dude,
And I
don't
tell
use
people
that.
this,
Come on,
Georgia
Herschel.
is
Don't
a
bring out the
state
Christian
that
card.
respects
Don't do
life,
that.
And I'll be a senator that protects life.
I hate Warnock,
And I
but he a
said that was
pastor.
lie, and I'm
He-
not backing down. And you have
He
Senator
could
Warnock,
white Christian his way
people
out of
would
that.
do anything and say anything for this seat, but I'm not going to back down because this seat is too important to the Georgia people for me to back down right now.
You've been vocally pro-life, supporting a ban on abortions without exceptions. Would you support a complete ban on a national level?
Well, first
30
of all,
seconds.
see, that's not true either. I said I support the heartbeat bill. And I said I support the Georgia heartbeat bill because that's the bill of the people from Governor Kemp. And I said that has exceptions in it. I said I'm a Christian, but I'm also representing the people of Georgia, and that's who I represent. So what the people of Georgia stand for, I'm going to stand with them.
Thank you, Mr. Walker. Senator Warnock, you said repeatedly that the exam room is too small for the patient, her doctor, and the U.S. government. We're asking you to take a clear position right now. Do you believe there should be any limitations on abortion set by the government? And you have 60 seconds.
I think that the women of this country and the women of this state woke up one summer morning and a core protection that they've known for 50 years was taken from them by an extremist Supreme Court. And I stand where I've said I stand in the past, that a patient's room is too narrow and small and cramped a space for a woman, her doctor,
What?
and the United States government. We are witnessing right now
Oh, Lord.
what happens when politicians, most of them men, pile into patients' rooms. You get what you're seeing right now. And the women of Georgia deserves a senator who will stand with them. I trust women more than I trust politicians.
May I respond?
Very quickly, Mr. Walker.
It is, and I heard about him. I heard he's a neat talker, but did he not mention that there's a baby in that room as well? And also, did
Who
not
put the
mention
battery in this
that
man
he
Walker's
asking-
back?
That he
He
asking
look
the
good.
taxpayer to pay for it. So
He's
bringing the
talking
government
real
back
good
into
right
the
now.
room. So he's not talking about that.
Right.
So
I don't
when
like
he
none of
mentioned
them.
that, it's like I'm not.
I don't like
seeing
none of
a
these
pastor
dudes, but
that
I'd
would say
rather
that
take
statement.
Walker for 6
Mr.
years.
Warnock, I'll give you a chance to rebut.
I am a pastor. I'm a man of faith.
I mean, I prefer Candace Taylor, but she didn't make it.
profound reverence for life and a deep respect for choice. And because I have such a profound reverence for life, it's one of the reasons why I've stood up to address this issue of maternal mortality in our country.
This Negro,
We lead all
he
of the
said
Western
he for
nations
this
on that
Negro
front, and
Warnock
black
said he
women
for life,
are 3
but
to 4
but
times
he
more
he
likely
allowed
to die, even
he
when they
in
have the
favor of woman
insurance and
killing
the
her
income.
kid.
Now,
Yeah,
that's
he's a
something
pastor.
government could actually do something about.
How's that
I
work?
joined with Marco Rubio of Florida to pass a bill to address maternal mortality, the women of Georgia have a clear choice as we're watching women die. Do you want a senator who wants to control your life, or do you want a senator who wants to save your life? I want to save your life.
Well, what's funny,
We need to
man,
keep moving, Mr. Walker.
I have to respond to this.
Very quickly.
Because he told me Black Lives Matter.
Uh-oh.
And if you think about it, Senator, in Atlanta, Georgia, there's more black baby that is aborted than anything. So if Black Lives Matter, why are you not protecting those babies? And instead of aborting those babies, why are you not baptizing those babies?
You sure this man wasn't a battle rapper?
Senator Warnock, we'll give you a chance to respond to that.
I think the women of Georgia have a clear choice. He says no exceptions, even in the case of rape, incest, or the life of the mother. I think that's extreme, it's out of touch with Georgia, and I intend to do the work that senators can do.
See, he didn't
Mr.
read the,
Walker,
he
we've
didn't
got
read
to
the
move
heartbeat
forward.
bill, though. Wait, he didn't
We've
read
got
the
to move
heartbeat
forward, Mr.
bill,
Walker.
that there is exceptions for that in the heartbeat bill. So when he
All
makes
right, I'm going to
a
ask you to
statement that
respect,
is
Mr. Walker,
untrue,
that we need to
and I
move
do
on, okay?
respect
We've
that,
got
but
a
Senator, you
lot
have
to
to
get
read
in
that
tonight.
bill.
A follow-up question for you, Senator.
This is a sick Negro.
Just a couple of weeks ago.
So women, I trust women and their wisdom and their ability to sit with their own
Baby, they
doctor,
brought out video on Warnock.
and if they choose, to sit with their pastor, and to pray about that and let their own conscience guide them.
What did he just
Even God gave us, and let their own conscience pass their ability to sit with their own doctor. And if they choose, to sit with their pastor.
Oh, he said, I thought he said bastard. He said
God gave
pastor.
us a
I was about to say.
And-
Oh, damn. What'd I do?
And I respect the right of women to make a decision. These are medical decisions. They are deeply personal. Women find themselves in a range of circumstances. And this issue has been far too politicized. And we're witnessing right now the chaos that ensues as a result of that. And women right now who may be facing a miscarriage in some cases are wondering what will happen and how will they have to explain that. I think that's deeply problematic. There are enough politicians piling into the rooms of patients, and I don't plan to join them.
But just to clarify, in your opinion, God gave us a choice in regards to abortion.
It is apparent that God has given us a range of choices,
Oh,
and
Lord.
the people of Georgia have a choice right now about who they think should represent them in the Senate.
And may I have to respond?
Mr. Walker,
because-
we do have to move
Well,
on to our
agree.
next
This will
topic.
be very short, because he's correct. God gave us a choice. But also within the Bible, if you read the Bible more, God said, choose life. In the Bible, it says, I give you a choice. Just like Adam and Eve had a choice, but they chose death.
Very
They
quickly,
got
Mr.
Herschel on the
Walker,
right
we
day.
need to move
I
forward.
think he wants to arrogate to politicians more power than God has.
All right, gentlemen, thank you. We're going to have to move on to our next topic, okay? Tina?
This is a sick Negro.
It is about student loans. We turn to Christian.
Here we go. They
Dent,
gonna talk about
a
student
college
loans.
student and Next Star News Nation viewer from
By the way,
Lewisboro,
folks,
Georgia.
a Wisconsin
As a
conservative
college student
group
at the
is
University of
suing
Georgia, me and my
Biden
peers are
because
often faced
they
with
said the student
confronting
loan
the rising
forgiveness
costs
is
that come with
intentionally
obtaining a
helping
college
black
degree.
borrowers.
In the United States Senate, will you support further forgiveness of student loan debt? And if so, how will you implement it in the United States Senate?
That kid
on
looked
federal
like a
level?
whole undeveloped
Our
lion.
thanks to Christian for that question. Senator Warnock, your answer, please, in 60 seconds.
I wouldn't be standing here tonight if it weren't for low-interest student loans and Pell Grants. And in the years since I've graduated, that path has gotten harder. I ran into a couple on a flight, and they wrote a note for me. They were with their one-year-old son. They said, whatever you do, please do something about this student debt. The mother said, I borrowed $35,000. I paid back $20,000. I still owe $30,000. And that's why I pushed the president to do student debt relief. He did $10,000.
I'm not paying for that,
and
sir.
with my urging, he did $20,000 for.
I'm not paying for that,
Pell Grants.
sir.
I think it was the right move.
Y'all sent money to
It will
Ukraine. Y'all
spur
should have paid it off of that.
entrepreneurship, home ownership. It helps kids in technical schools and vocational schools, not just four-year colleges. But we need reform.
You
We
Negroes
shouldn't
don't
be
want to
doing
push
this
technical
again 10 years
colleges.
from now. And I'm working right now
Because there
on
would be
the
no
kind of
debt.
reform we need, because college is outpacing the price of everything else in our economy.
A follow-up for
Because
you,
you're
sir. Why do
dumbasses.
believe
You
this
guys
should
want
be done
everybody to
through
go to college
executive
instead of going to
action
tech school,
instead of Congress?
learning a
And
trade.
also, how would this be funded? You have 30 seconds.
The president has already moved to do student debt relief.
He's backtracked, sir.
um,
Stop telling that lie.
There's additional relief for folks like me who, when they got student loans, were Pell Grant eligible. But there's no question.
That was the
we
same
need
white man who told
reform in
Obama
the
to cut
system
it.
so that we can get the cost of college underway. We don't find ourselves here again. And that's my
Push
position.
trade
Senator
schools,
Warnock,
you
thank you.
piece of
Mr.
shit.
Walker, to repeat Christian's question, will you support further forgiveness of student loan debt?
You better
And if
say no.
so, how would you implement it?
Well, first of all, you can see
60
that.
seconds, sir. I
Yes,
apologize.
first of all, you can see that Senator Warnock has gotten good at being in Washington because you asked the question why.
Yo, this Herschel Walker, man.
The president doing an executive order, which is what should have been done. And as I was traveling around the state of Georgia, I talked to people. Some people that wanted to go to college, they couldn't. So they ended up going and working on father's farm. Some military wanted to go to college, they didn't. So he went to the military, may have lost an arm. So this is not right. Georgia people say it's not right. They said it's unfair. First of all, how can you transfer someone debt who owe it to someone that don't owe it? And also, Senator Warnock
Baby,
brags
I want to know
about
who put the battery in this man's back.
$400 billion
He sounds like a
that now
senator.
The taxpayer, all you in the audience, got to pay for.
He
You gotta
holding a
pay
pen.
that debt.
I think that's
And
what's
I didn't
focusing
co-sign
him.
for anyone's loan. I hope no one out here co-sign for anyone's loan. 'Cause
Nigga,
I
put
didn't
down your
co-sign for
glasses,
anyone's
number
loan.
one,
It's not right,
please.
it's not fair.
He getting clapped. Oh, Lord.
Mr. Walker, we're continuing with a follow-up for you now, Mr. Walker. College tuition, it skyrocketed, 175%.
All right, there's something I don't like about this debate, though.
What will you do?
They both have
to
on.
stem the cost of higher
Walker got on a
education
red
going
tie
forward?
and Warnock got
First
on
You
of
a
have
all-
blue
30
tie.
seconds.
First of all, what you should
podiums are
do
lit.
is get rid of federal funding of any college that raised their costs. Get rid of federal funding of any college that raised their costs. That's the first thing.
So that is what you would do.
That's
We're
what I would
asking
do.
Hey, baby,
what you
Herschel
would
Walker
do.
just made an
Well,
enemy of the
any college
Jews.
that raised their costs, I get rid of any federal funding that they're gonna get.
Thank you.
You know,
Oh,
I-
Lord,
I-
he
I
done
find it
pissed them
interesting
Jews
that-
off.
that folks are
Senator
offended by-
Warnock, Senator Warnock,
Yes.
I'm going to give you this one. I'm going to
Thank
give you a
you.
pass for 15
I
seconds.
will be very brief, I promise.
Very brief.
It's interesting to me that folks who have been crying about the student debt relief haven't said anything about multi-billionaire corporate entities who've gotten PPP loans.
Oh, stop it. Are you serious?
I wonder why Mr.
We're going to
Walker is
move
not
on.
offended by
We're
that.
moving on. Thank
that
you.
is-
Senator Warnock.
Could a black
Your
woman
time
cut
is
him
up.
off?
Mr. Walker, we are moving on.
Yes, the
We're going to
church
move
got
on to
one,
minimum
see?
wage, gentlemen. We have
Yes.
a lot to get through
Yes.
tonight. We've made that clear at the top of the hour.
Yes.
So let's get as many questions as we can in because
Oh,
Georgia
my
voters
God.
want to know where you stand on these issues. They have to make a decision. Let them know tonight. Buck?
Thank you, Tina. Now, according to the U.S. Census Bureau, 14% of Georgians live in poverty. The federal minimum wage is $7.25 an hour, a number that has not increased since 2009. Let's do this by a simple showing of hands. Raise your hand if you support a federal minimum wage. Okay, Mr. Walker, you did not raise your hand, so I'd like to ask you, first of all, why not, and what would you do to help struggling Georgians?
Well, when you said a federal, I think right now, and he said that I want the federal government. No, he wants the federal government to run your life. Right now, I think you have to work with different corporations and see just where they can pay. There are some companies right now, and he should know this, after getting the All-Star game moved out of Atlanta, they destroyed a lot of small businesses.
Yes, he did.
So those small businesses couldn't pay $15, $20 an hour. So they have to pay what they're capable of paying. So to mandate a federal fee that they have to pay hourly wage, no, I couldn't approve that.
Thank you, Mr. Walker. Senator Warnock, you did not raise your hand, so why not, and what would you do to help struggling Georgians?
I believe in the dignity of work, and I believe in the dignity of workers. I watched my dad work really hard to take care of his family, and I've seen what we call—
Sir, that was a different time.
These folks who are on the front line stand up for us in the midst of the pandemic. We call them essential workers. They deserve an essential wage and essential benefits. In other words, workers deserve to participate in the prosperity that they are creating for others. And so I've been a part of this conversation around the minimum wage. I think people need a livable wage. And some of that is being addressed right now in this strong labor market. So I'm willing to work with folks in the corporate community as well as the labor community to figure out how we get to a good place. But there's no question, people deserve.
Quiet man, you know you ain't shit for that
prosperity that they're creating for others. They
Come
deserve
on,
a
lady,
livable
as far as
wage,
Herschel, don't do
and they
that.
deserve benefits.
You know you roll
Senator
for that.
Warnock, we're going to move to our next topic. Tina?
And that topic is crime and violence. In June, Congress passed the first bipartisan legislation to combat gun violence in 30 years.
That's part of the crime bill.
According to a Pew Research poll released in July, 78% of Americans think the new gun law will do little or nothing to reduce gun violence. Senator Warnock, I turn to you first. As the number of shootings in Georgia and across the nation continue to rise, what should be done? What should the next step be to solve this issue? You have to answer this question, sir, and I give you 1 minute.
Well, I'm glad that we finally passed the first gun safety law in 30 years. And we did that on a bipartisan basis. I believe that this law will indeed save lives. And I'd like to see us work and see what we can achieve beyond that on a bipartisan basis. My heart goes out when I see the kinds of tragedies that we're
Hey, quiet
witnessing
man, I do
all
want to
across,
see Kamala's
our
40-yard
state,
dash
all
with them
across our
chucks on.
country. And it's the reason why I have passed legislation to support law enforcement. I passed the largest investment in the COPS program in a decade.
Do tell.
I introduced legislation called Invest to Protect that's endorsed by the sheriffs of Burke County and Scriven County because it supports some of our smaller law enforcement entities. So we got to stand up with law enforcement, but we've also got to create opportunity.
Senator Warnock, thank you. Mr. Walker, we're posing the same question to you, sir. In 1 minute, what should the next step be to solve gun violence?
Well, first of all, any law or bill passed that will affect anyone.
Brother Herschel, I'm going to need you to stop saying first of all every time you answer a
support.
question.
But third, to hear Senator Warnock talks about supporting law enforcement is sad because he's called them names.
Wait, is Herschel
Because
Walker on
of
code?
The name calling he's done, the morale is down, recruitment is down, only because of what he's done. He's empowered criminals.
I said Herschel needs to
think
stop
they're better
saying first
than
of
the
all
police.
every time he wants to
And
answer a
because
question.
he believes in no cash bail.
But is
he's
Herschel
releasing
Walker on
prisoners.
code?
He don't protect the border. Fentanyl is coming to this country and also into Atlanta. 70% of the drugs coming from the border goes to Atlanta, Georgia. And he talks about the police. I have more sheriffs that has endorsed me than anyone running in Georgia right now. And I even have some sheriffs here, and they've endorsed me because they know I have their back, they're gonna have my backs. So to listen to him say that after calling them name, I think it's a disgrace.
Mr. Walker, thank you.
How is Herschel Walker on code? What is this?
I think I ought to be able to respond to that.
I will give you the opportunity, 15 seconds to respond, Senator Warnock.
We will
B1
see time and time
CRU
again tonight, as
royalty.
we've already seen, that my opponent has a problem with the truth. And just because he said something doesn't mean it's true. I have supported our police officers. I've called them and I've prayed with their families, like those officers.
Oh, quiet
lost in
man, he
Cobb
gonna
County.
he gonna be riding with them Republicans.
When they were
If
killed
they win the House and
doing
Senate,
what
they
police
closing that
officers
border
routinely
by
do.
January 1st.
You can support police officers as I've done through the COPS program, through the Invest to Protect program, while at the same time holding police officers, like all professions, accountable. One thing I
Get rid of
have not
qualified
done,
immunity. Say it.
I've
You'll win
never
the election.
pretended to be a police officer, and I've never threatened a shootout with the police.
Well, and now I have to respond to that.
We are
No,
moving on,
I have to
gentlemen.
respond to that. And you know what's so funny? I am with many police officers, and at the same time,
Mr. Walker, Mr. Walker,
No,
Mr. Walker,
When he
Mr.
say a
Walker,
problem with
excuse
the
me,
truth-
Mr. Walker,
when he
please,
say a problem
out of
with the truth,
respect,
the truth is
I
in
need to
here.
let you know, Mr.
Yes.
Walker, you are very well aware of the rules tonight.
Yes.
And you have a prop.
Yes.
That is not allowed, sir. I ask you to put that prop away.
well, it's not a problem.
it-
This is real. And he said, I have a problem. I never worked with law
It is considered a
enforcement.
prop, Mr. Walker.
Yes.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes.
You're very well aware of the rules. aren't you?
Well,
Aren't you aware of the
he
rules?
brought up the truth, and let's talk about the truth.
Thank you for putting that
Yes.
prop away. And as a matter of fact, we still have a lot to get to, and we are not going to continue this. We're going to follow up with a question, and this is according to the CDC. Homicide is the leading cause of death for African American youth. Mr. Walker, in 30 seconds, why do you believe this is happening? And what would you do to stop it?
This is the greatest debate I've ever heard.
Which is Senator Warnock not doing. Believing in no cash bail, no accountability, that is a problem. People must be accountable for their actions. And the truth lies with Senator Warnock. Because he said he went to Washington to represent Georgia. He went to Washington to represent Joe Biden. That's the reason we're in the mess we're in today, because he represents Joe Biden and not the truth for Georgia.
Senator Warnock, this follow-up to you. Same question. What do you believe homicides among African American youth is growing? Why are those homicides growing, sir? And how do we stop it?
Well, it's heartbreaking. And I've seen this up close as a pastor. I've presided over some of these funerals. I've met with young people. And we have to have different laws in the society, which I support and I've invested in as a legislator. At the same time, we have to create opportunity. There's no sickness like the loss of hope. When people lose hope, when they doubt that their life can be any longer or that they can dream of something bigger than the street they live on, a lot of things can happen. I grew up in one of those neighborhoods, but I had a nurturing family, and I benefited from good federal public policy, like the Head Start program, like Upward Bound, like Pell Grants and low-interest student loans. And to invest in our children is to invest in our best resources.
Dinner's ready.
Senator Warnock, thank you. We are moving on, gentlemen, to the next.
See, the more you fuck around, the more you're going to find out.
Warnock, in 2020, you tweeted this. Unemployment benefits have expired, rent is due, and many Georgia families are at risk of eviction. My opponents are supposed to be serving the people in Washington, but they are clearly.
Oh, you know what they're about
concerned
to bring
with
up,
their
folk.
own interests. Well, recent published reports talk about a property that your church owns, Columbia
first answer
Towers in
better say,
MLK
"I paid
Village
that
in
off."
Atlanta. It's a home for the disadvantaged. At least a dozen lawsuits have been filed by residents evicted.
You better have said
for
you paid
not
that
being
off.
able to pay their rent. Some of the outstanding balances are less than $30. As someone who receives more than $7,000 a month for a housing allowance from Ebenezer Baptist Church, how do you explain this to Georgia voters who are struggling currently to make ends meet?
Well, let me say that serving in the United States Senate and continuing to serve my church
Nigga.
is the honor of my life. And it gives me a lens
Get to the
through which to do
answer.
the work that I'm doing. But here's why you know I'm running against a desperate candidate.
Dude, he ain't the one that put it out.
Anytime a candidate would stoop to the level of trying
didn't
to
put it
sully the
out.
name, he and his allies, to
my
sully the
God.
name of Martin Luther King Jr.'s church,
Sir, he didn't
and
put out
John
the
Lewis's
story.
church, you know that's a desperate candidate. Let me tell you about my church. My church is a Matthew 25 church. We spend every week, every day feeding the hungry and the homeless. They know that those false charges that they've created are not true. We stand up for poor people.
So
every
you're telling me
single day, and I
that
ran
somebody
for
just
the
made
Senate
that up?
to do at a policy level what we do at a local level every single day. I'm not going to be distracted by him and his allies. My
He
people
didn't
know
put
the
out the
truth. They know the
story,
work
sir.
we do every single day, and I couldn't be prouder of them.
Oh my God.
Proud to represent.
Dinner's
the
ready.
Senate and proud to serve Ebenezer Baptist Church.
Yo, Herschel,
Just
eat
to
your food.
clarify, your position is that the allegations in these lawsuits are not true?
I am saying that it is very obvious that my opponent and his allies are busy trying to sully Ebenezer Baptist Church.
He ain't answering it. Even the audience picked it
Now,
up. He
that's
ain't
the problem
answering
with
the
it.
truth.
Switching gears a
Dogs.
little bit here, sir. Your ex-wife filed a lawsuit asking for increased child support.
Damn!
Saying that she had to pay for child care on days that your duties as a senator interfered with your
Evelyn
parenting
Exum,
time and
hello.
citing
You
significant
seem
increases
new.
in your income.
Hello.
In 30 seconds, what is your response to that lawsuit?
Listen,
They would not do that for no white
I
man.
went through a divorce, like a lot of people. And while that was a painful period, what came out of that was two amazing children
Oh Lord.
that I just talked to before I came on this stage.
Oh Lord.
And my children know that I am with them and for them, and that I support them in every
He
single
cooning.
way that a father does.
Thank you, Senator Warnock.
What
Now to you,
kind of
Mr.
answer
Walker.
was that?
Recent ads have highlighted allegations of past domestic violence. They've raised questions about how transparent you've been as far as your resume. In 1 minute, how do you respond to voters who question your integrity, both personally and professionally?
First of all,
Nigga, stop
I've been
saying
very
first
transparent.
of all.
And I'm not ashamed to admit it. And I say I had a mental problem, and I'll be a champion for mental health because so many people suffer from mental health. But to have people like Senator Warnock that demonize mental health, when I want to tell everyone out there, you can get help. Don't listen to Senator Warnock and his people. You can get help. All you got to do is ask. All you got to do is ask. But the problem with the truth, you just saw it. You just saw it because he won't answer that about evicting the people from the church. And I told him I will pay I'll pay their salary. You're evicting them right now during these hard times.
We have not evicted. We have not evicted those tenants.
I didn't write the article.
I didn't
write the article. And most of the people out there spend my time.
I'm okay with the
Good
discussion.
answer.
If
We
you start
have-
talking over each other,
We have
Go ahead.
not
I'll let you
evicted
speak,
the
then I can
tenants.
speak, Senator.
And he should take that money and pay it back to the veterans that he exploited while
Yeah,
pretending
I
to
like
run
that too.
a
And
not-for-profit.
see, you can tell that he's not desperate because if he had read in that thing, he would have saw that I had nothing to do with that. But he is so desperate right now, and he really want that seat. He's now telling you, I didn't evict anyone. It is written in the paper. I didn't do this. Well, Senator, you did. And it's okay to speak the truth. Do not bear false witness, Senator. Do not bear false witness.
Mr. Walker, to keep this moving, I want to follow up with
Lord,
you.
this
You have
finna
been
get
very
good.
open on Mr. Senator Warnock, we need to move forward here. You have been very open about your struggles with mental illness, and you even wrote
Jay
a
the
book about
Informant.
your diagnosis of dissociative identity disorder.
You said why
we recently
Fetterman
asked
isn't
if you were
debating
still
Dr.
receiving treatment,
Oz.
and this is what you
Hang
had
on
to
one
say.
second.
No, that's all done, and you don't need to. And that's why I tell people, I think one thing I told people, I've been open about it, and I was open about it, 14 years ago.
The reason why he's not doing that is because they cannot have him debating Oz because he's no good. He got exposed a couple weeks ago.
And I encourage people to continue to talk to people. I talk to my pastors. I talk to my pastors, and I continue to get help if I need help. But I don't need any help. I'm doing well. But that's the reason why I tell anyone out there that is suffering from any type of mental illness, you can get help.
This nigga
All
sound
you
like
gotta do
Mr.
is
T
ask. And I
at the
will always,
WWE Hall
always
of
be a
Fame.
champion for mental health.
When you
Just to
start talking
clarify-
about his
Just
mother.
to clarify, how can Georgia voters, though, be assured that this will not impact your ability to lead if elected?
Because I'm ready to lead today. I'm ready
Damn.
to
Go
vote
ahead,
with
brother.
the Georgia voters, whereas Senator Warnock has voted with Joe Biden 96% of the time. I'm ready to vote with the Georgia voters today.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Go
We'll
ahead,
move on to
brother.
our next
Put on them
topic.
glasses.
And that topic, gentlemen, is health insurance.
Oh, Lord.
Georgia is one of 12 states that have not accepted federal funding to expand Medicaid under the Affordable Care Act.
That's a lie.
Mr. Walker, with more than 1.5 million Georgians uninsured, in 1 minute, is it time for the federal government to step in to ensure all Georgians have access to health care?
Well, right now,
At least he didn't say
people
first of
have
all.
coverage for health care. It's according to what type of coverage do you want. Because if you have an able-bodied job, you're going to have health care. But everyone else have health care is the type of health care you're going to get.
Oh, shit.
And I think that is the problem. And what Senator Warnock wants you to do is depend on the government. What I want you to do is get off the government health care and get on the health care he's got to get you a better health care. So that's what I'm trying to do, to make you independent rather than dependent.
Oh, damn.
Thank you,
Okay.
Mr. Walker. Senator Warnock, you have 1 minute. You've vowed to close the Medicaid gap.
I think they'll probably
by
ask that
expanding
question
access
last.
coverage in the Affordable Care Act marketplace. So this comes with a $50 billion price tag, the national debt already at an all-time high.
Yeah, 32. It's almost at
Where is this
32
money
trillion.
coming from? You have 60 seconds, sir.
This is not a theoretical issue for me. When I think about healthcare, I think about Lori Davis, a trauma nurse in Covington, Georgia, who spent her career taking care of people. And then she got sick and she had to give up that job. And as she got sicker and sicker, she found herself
RG
without
Titan,
health
hello.
care. She was one of the 600,000 Georgians in the Medicaid gap. She died for lack of health care. And so I ran saying that I would fight to expand Medicaid. Georgia needs to expand Medicaid. It costs us more not to expand. What we're doing right now is we're subsidizing health care in other states. Meanwhile, we've seen 10 hospitals in this state close, 10. And the Atlanta Medical Center right down the street from my church, where I visit my members, has announced that it's going to close. And so Georgia needs a senator who believes, like I do, that health care is a human right. And I will continue to
Nigga,
fight.
y'all knew it was
until,
closing
the
way
working
before this
class
debate.
people- by
Why
the way,
didn't
the
y'all
folks
fix
who
it
don't
then?
have healthcare, they work every single day. The folks who are in the gap.
And I believe in that
The folks.
extension of
Let me
healthcare.
finish. Let me finish. The
And your
folks.
time was
The
up.
folks who
Your
are
time
in
was
the
up,
gap-
ladies. Go ahead.
The folks who are in the
It is
gap are
ready.
the working poor.
We are moving on, Senator
And I
Warnock.
believe in health care, but he didn't mention
Listen,
that he
Mr.
got-
Walker, if I can get
Yes.
your attention, please. In just a few weeks, Wellstar will close its doors. This is Atlanta Medical Center, which primarily serves patients in lower income and minority communities.
Hey, RG Titan,
Hospitals
he over there trying to
nationwide
make new
are
Judge Dredd
dealing with
and
nursing
RoboCop.
shortages, doctor shortages in the wake of the pandemic. Mr. Walker, what measures can Congress enact to ensure everyone has access to hospitals and doctors? You have 30 seconds, sir.
Well, first of all, Senator
Nigga, you
Warnock
went back
was
to first
correct
of all?
that he believed in working with people, but he didn't do it because Governor Kemp has a plan that would have been a very good plan. But he stood back while Biden destroyed the plan. And he's talking about he believes in the extension of it. He stood back. Well, what the people can be assured of is I'm willing to meet with hospital administrators, meet with people rather than writing a letter, because Senator Warnock waited till they made the decision and wrote a letter.
Facts.
And I said they don't need a pen pal, they need solutions.
We are moving on now, Senator Warnock. That same question to you, sir. What measures can Congress enact to
nigga said,
ensure
"Yeah, they don't
everyone
need a pen
has
pal."
access to hospitals and doctors? You have 30 seconds.
Well, clearly he doesn't have a solution.
Oh,
Well,
he
I
said-
said I'll meet with administrators, that's a
He
solution.
said
You didn't do
his,
that.
his solution is to meet. My solution is to pass legislation, which I've done.
nigga, you wrote a letter.
I got $4
He
billion
wanted to talk to him.
in the American Rescue Plan to help the non-expansion states to do what they should have done to expand. They left
This is
that
the
money
greatest
on the
debate I've
table.
ever seen.
Georgia left 600,000 Georgians in the Medicaid gap. And so I'm going to keep standing up because people are literally dying for lack of health care. Dr. King said that of all the injustices,
Oh,
inequality
Lord.
in health care is the most shocking and the most inhumane. I agree with Dr. King.
Leave
Thank
Dr.
you,
King
Senator
out of
Warnock.
this.
Buck, now the next topic.
Thank you, Tina. We're going to talk about foreign policy now.
Damn,
Russian
he
President
cut off
Vladimir
the
Putin
black
has threatened
woman.
to use nuclear weapons in the conflict with Ukraine, prompting President Biden to claim that we are on the verge of Armageddon. Senator Warnock, if nuclear weapons are used, how should the United States respond? You have 60 seconds.
I mean, don't put.
Well, first of all, I'm glad that we are standing up to Putin's aggression. And we have to continue to stand up, which is why I stood up to the Biden administration when it suggested that we should close the Savannah Combat Readiness Training Center. I told the president that was the exact wrong thing to do at the exact wrong time. And I'm glad that I was able to stand up with Congressman Buddy Carter and others. And we kept that training center open. I've seen up close what those service members do. They are the tip of the spear. And we have
Somebody
to make
listens
sure
to
that our
Alex
service
Jones.
members know that we have their back. We have to strengthen our allies and the NATO alliance as we've done and make sure we stand up to Russian aggression. Nothing could be more important.
Mr. Walker, the same question to you. If nuclear weapons are used, how should the U.S. respond? You have 60
Well,
seconds.
first of all, he talked about standing up. You didn't stand up to Chuck Schumer when you could have got a helicopter company here of almost $1 billion. You let it go to New York.
Samuel
You didn't
Logan,
stand up
hello.
then. You didn't stand up to Biden. He left American people and had 13 military soldiers killed in Afghanistan. You didn't stand up then. So what we can do is Putin is a bully. And the way you beat a bully, you show strength.
Oh, damn.
Well, Senator Warnock say he stood up. He not stood up to Biden. If he was standing up, he wouldn't have voted with him 96% of the time, which gave us an open border, which gave us high inflation, which gave us crime in the streets. And he talking about standing up. He didn't stand up. he have laid down every time it came around, and you know that, Senator.
It is evident that he has a point that he tries to make time and time again.
Oh,
I
damn,
stood
this
up
is
to
great.
the Biden administration so that they could keep open this Combat Training Readiness Center. Stood
bring
with
this
our
back
congressional
again.
delegation to do that. I've worked across the aisle time and time to get good things done for the people of Georgia. I worked with a senator from Texas to build out I-14. I worked with a Republican senator from Alabama to help Georgia farmers get their products to market. I
But
will
you
work
was cool with
anyone and
Tuberville
stand up
saying what he
against
said, and you
anybody I
didn't
need to
call him
stand up
out.
against to get good things done for Georgia. I work for the people of Georgia.
We need to move forward to our
single
next
day.
topick, gentlemen. Our time is
Negro,
running
you
short.
sat
Both of you
there
had
and let
strong
Tuberville
backing
say
from
what he
your
said. You didn't say a
respective parties.
word.
Senator Warnock,
wanted
a
to keep the
simple
peanuts
yes or no
flowing.
here.
Fuck outta here.
You will have a chance to explain, but I'd like a simple yes or no. Would you support President Biden running for a second term in 2024?
Hell no, you better
I've
say.
not spent a minute thinking about what politicians should run for what in 2024.
Is that a yes or a no?
The answer is I have not. And maybe this
Oh,
is difficult.
shit.
Maybe this is difficult for people to understand because that's how politicians think. I think that part of the problem with our politics right now is that it's become too much about the politicians. You're asking
Nigga,
me
you-
who's going to run
if
in
he
24?
runs again, you gotta
The
sell
people
it
of
to Georgia,
get
you
to decide
asshole.
who's going to be their senator in 3 days, Monday. And I hope they'll show up and vote. And I'd be honored to represent them in the Senate.
Of course you would. You
haven't
get that
thought about
paycheck
it.
for
If you
6
can
years.
think about it now, in 2024, the president will turn 82 years old. Are you concerned about his physical and his mental fitness at that time? You have 30
The
seconds.
people of Georgia hired me to represent them regardless of who's in the White House.
But you have to
I'm
sell it.
honored to do that job every single day. My dad said if somebody hires you to do a job, do the job they hired you to do. They didn't hire me to be a pundit. And I'm working every single day for hardworking families in Georgia, for our women, for our workers, and for kids like me.
What about the
Growing
men?
up in places like Caton Homes.
What about the men?
Mr. Walker, former President Trump
Oh,
is also
damn.
considering a run for the White House in 2024. If you can give me a simple yes or no answer, and we'll
Well,
give you
that's
time to
kinda-
explain as well, would you support a Trump 2024 run?
Yes, I would. And let me tell you, President Trump is my friend.
Nigga,
has
don't
nothing
say
to
that.
do with has nothing to do with that. He's my friend. I won't
Don't say
leave
that.
my allies, which is what Senator Warnock and Joe Biden did in Afghanistan. They left their allies. They left their allies, and right now on a foreign stage, a lot of these people don't trust us no more. They don't trust us to be strong anymore. So they're waiting to see who's going to stand up, who's going to trust, they have no one to trust right now because I said President Trump is my friend, and he won't stand up with Biden when yet he's voted with him 96% of the time. Let's be real.
Mr. Walker, are you concerned about
Damn.
the ongoing legal investigations around the country and including here in Georgia? You have 30 seconds.
Well, first of all,
Stop
I
saying
would
first
hope
of
that
all.
Senator Warnock, he and myself being people of color,
Th-
we
that-
want
that's like your
the
13th of
scales
all.
justice to not have a hand on it. We want the Lady Justice to be blind, but in this instance here, Lady Justice is not blind. And I said, right now, with everything that is going on, what I like to do is get to what's important. What's important is protecting the border. What's important is protecting people on the street. What's important is getting this inflation down. Not what's going on there in Washington, talking about whether President Trump is guilty or not guilty. What I want to do is see due process, which is what I hope Senator Warnock
Who the hell
myself
taught
would
this
love
man
to
due
see.
process?
Changing topics now, we're going to move forward just to give you guys both an update that you may want to know, although the news is not great if you're a Braves fan. Right now, they're in the top of the 9th inning, Game 3, National League Division Series, down 9-1 to the Phillies. Not
Who
a great
gives a
night for the
damn?
Braves.
Look, come on,
just a
just
few
get to the
weeks ago, the
show.
World
I'm a
Series
Met
champs,
fan. I
though,
don't
they
give a
did
fuck. I
visit
hope the
White
Braves
House.
lose. I hope the Phillies
Their
lose.
visit sparked a renewed debate about the team's name and their signature tomahawk chop.
What
Mr.
about
Walker, do you believe the Braves
reparations?
should rethink their
Why is
name,
this
their
a thing?
logo, or their signature cheer? You have 30 seconds.
Not at all. You know, right now, we have too many other things to be concerned about. We have people dying on the streets
Good
in
answer.
Atlanta, around the country. We have people living paycheck to paycheck, can't afford food to put on their table, can't afford gas. We have Putin out there. We have China out there. We can't be concerned about whether the Braves going to change their name. We need to be concerned about saving this country. We need to be concerned about saving the Georgia people. We need to be concerned about giving people a right to live the liberties and freedoms that the Constitution of the
Native
United
Americans
States
don't care
guarantees
about
them
the
to
Braves
have.
name, by the way.
Senator Warnock, the same question to you.
Damn, that's the biggest
In
one I
regards
heard
to
of
the
yet.
Braves, do you think they should rethink their name, their
know he
logo, or
gonna
their
say yes.
signature cheer?
Well, first of all, I'm praying for the Braves right about now. They've got a ways to go here. Listen, the management of the Braves is meeting with our tribes, and they're having a conversation about this. And I know the folks over at the Braves organization, and I trust that they and the tribes that they're talking to
That's not what he
will come
asked
to
you,
a
sir.
place that makes sense for all involved.
That's not what he asked you.
Senator Warnock, we're going to
That's
go
not
ahead
what
and
he asked
continue.
you.
We want to get a few more questions in tonight. Senator Warnock, some of your Senate colleagues have called for expanding the number of seats on the Supreme Court. In 15 seconds, quickly, sir, would you support this?
What I support,
Expanding
listen,
the seats on the Supreme Court.
I think
Damn,
that
even
my
the black
job
woman
as a
getting tired of
senator
him dancing.
is to protect the rights of ordinary citizens. And for the first time, perhaps in my lifetime, we've seen those rights contract rather than expand, whether we're talking about the reproductive rights of women
Nobody cares
or
about
voting
that,
rights.
sir.
And I'm going to do everything I can to protect
Damn,
the
they
rights of
begged
the
on you
citizens of
early,
Georgia.
God.
Thank you,
Dinner's
Senator
ready.
Warnock. Mr. Walker, would you support expanding the number of seats on the
This
Supreme
nigga
Court?
took off his glasses.
In
It's about to
15
get real.
seconds, sir.
Yes, when you get in Washington, you have to become a leader. Being a leader, you have to make tough decisions. And you see on that answer there, he really didn't give you an answer. So my answer is no. I wouldn't know.
Thank you, gentlemen. Now we have reached the point for final moments of this debate, a chance for
Reparations.
your closing remarks.
You'll
And you
each-
have 60 seconds.
Each have 60 seconds to
Y'all ain't gonna
answer,
ask
and
about
Senator Warnock, you have the
reparations.
floor.
Say less.
Well, thank you so very much, Georgia. It's wonderful.
By the way,
to
y'all,
be
I started
here.
this late, so
Listen,
I'm gonna go back
in this
and see
state,
what
we
the first
have
question
nearly
was.
11 million people. And only 2 people get to represent us in the United States Senate, just 2. And when I think about that, it is an awesome responsibility, one that humbles me and inspires me to
Run
work
over
as hard
people
as I
with-
can for
run over
hardworking
people's foot with your
families
car.
every single day. And I've worked with Democrats and Republicans
To throw
in
people
order
out
to
of their
do that
homes.
work. These are difficult times. These
But
are
I'm still
dark times.
collecting a paycheck.
But the scripture says that the light shines in the darkness, and the darkness overcometh it not. I'm honored to represent you in the Senate. I hope that you'll show up to vote early, beginning Monday. I'd be honored. to
Dinner's
have your
ready.
vote. God bless you. Keep the faith.
Mr. Walker, your turn for closing statements, and you have 60 seconds as well.
Come on, Herschel,
For
don't
those
fumble
of
it.
you who are concerned about voting for me, a non-politician, I want you to think about the damage politicians like Joe Biden and Raphael Warnock had done to this country. I want you to think about Raphael Warnock, what he said today. And I said he was going to try to give you some smooth talk and tell you what's happening. What's happening
He
is
just
this
called him
country's
bald-headed
hurting.
Obama.
What's happening is we need leaders. So what I want to say to you, Senator Warnock, is I want to thank you. I want to thank you for this. But at the same time, I want to say Georgia needs leaders. They need leaders that's going to stand up for them. So let's think about if we give Senator Warnock 6 more years, think of what this country will become. I'm not sure we can make up for that.
Gentlemen,
So I
thank
said
you.
vote for Herschel Walker.
Thank
That
you
wasn't
both,
60
gentlemen. That's
seconds.
going to conclude our debate for this evening. Before we leave tonight, though, we want to remind voters that early voting begins in Georgia on Monday. It will run through November 4th.
Look at all them
Election
old biddies
Day
in the
is
audience.
November 8th.
God, dog.
Candidates, thank you. And
right,
we,
let's go
of course,
back.
want to thank Plant Riverside District, Kessler.
We'd like for you to use the hashtag GASEN debate. Once again, it's hashtag GASEN debate.
Good to see you as well, gentlemen. We began tonight with opening statements. A card draw determined who will go first. Mr. Walker, we will begin with you. You have 60 seconds.
First, I'd like to acknowledge my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. I'm
Yeah,
one of
get
7
ahead of it
kids,
early.
Born and raised in Wrightsville, Georgia. My parents taught me about faith, family, education, and the love of country.
I
They
just
also
noticed
taught me
Herschel
about a good
Walker
work ethic.
right eye is a
And
little bit
because of that,
closed.
I found the America's dream. But this race ain't about me. It's about what Raphael Warnock and Joe Biden had done to you and your family.
Hey, don't worry, y'all.
Tonight,
After I'm finished with
he's
this,
gonna try to
I
sweet
might
talk
open
you
up the phone. I
that
might
you're doing
open
a
up the
good
line.
job.
You know what? I'm
But
finna
his
do that
record
right now.
speaks for itself.
I want to hear what people
I'm
got
here
to
to
say
tell you
about
that
this.
they've raised your taxes, gave you high inflation, They even put men in women's sports. And I want to let you know, the Raphael Warnock, we give him 6 more years, think what he's going to do. So I'm here to fix it.
Mr. Walker, thank you. Senator Warnock, we turn now to you for your opening statement. You have 60 seconds.
Well, thank you so very much. And hello, Georgia. It's so wonderful to be back here in my hometown. Now, I know that we're in a debate tonight, but really I come with a deep heart filled with gratitude, probably because I grew up about a mile from here in the Caton Homes housing projects. I'm one of 12 children in my family. Clearly, my preacher parents read the Bible, be fruitful and multiply. When I think about the arc of my life, the short distance and the long distance from there to here, I know that only in America is my story possible. My family taught me the importance of hard work and how to build the beloved community that Dr. King used to talk about, and I brought that spirit to the Senate. At the end of the day, this race is about who's ready to represent Georgia in the U.S. Senate. I think that choice is clear, and I look forward to having that discussion tonight.
Thank you, Senator Warnock. Gentlemen, we have a lot to get to this hour. So we will start tonight with the most important issues facing Georgia voters.
Our next star, Emerson College.
All right. Yeah. So, so there it is, folks. There it is. That was the debate. That was the debate. Now, like I said, up top is the link, the pin tweet. You want to come up and talk about this. Man. Oh, Lord. Okay. Of course, they didn't talk about reparations. Of course, they didn't. You know what? I'm in the South. Fuck it. Of course, they didn't talk about reparations. Of course, they didn't. Yeah, I know, Quatman. They had a list of topics, but they know they ain't want to talk. You in Savannah, you need to be talking about reparations. I know Marcel was pissed, but yeah, fuck. I mean, boy, I think Herschel took that. I think he took that to the end zone and brought home the championship. Oh Lord. Damn. I want to know whoever put the battery in Herschel back, they need a raise, bro. That man came out swinging. Except when he kept saying, first of all, what the that mean? Hang on, I got somebody coming in the room. Quatman, hello. You're gonna mute your mic. I hope you didn't use the browser. Don't use the browser. You use Chrome or Safari. Don't use the browser from YouTube. It doesn't work. So you might have to come back in and do it again. Just copy the link and then go into Chrome or Safari and put it in. Yeah. Oh, we know, Anthony. We know they don't like they damn sure don't like FBA. Wait, what the fuck? Where is it? Oh no, DSB, sorry. Yeah, they don't like FBA. But you talking to two black men that were born in Georgia who have FBA ties, ADOS ties, Freedman ties, whatever y'all want to call it. Y'all are supposed to that's a hot button topic. Let me see something. Hello? Yeah, you're gonna have to come back in. All right. Hopefully they get that working. But anyway, let's see. Samuel Logan asked, do you think Walker got advanced knowledge on the questions? No, they get what they usually do in these debates. They have a list of topics that they need to cover based on how, like what they did in the beginning. They had 3 main topics that they had to cover: economy, the abortion rights, and what was the other one? The other one was son of a bitch. What was the other one? It was the economy. I forgot what the second one was. It might have been either foreign policy or crime or some shit, or like the open borders or something. But that's usually what people are talking about these days. That way they can control the narrative, and that's an easy way for them to separate the conservative and liberal talking points, because these debates are never about who can be in the middle. But Herschel, boy. Herschel. I can't believe Herschel beat him. I can't believe it. Now the nigga brought out a prop. We got to talk about that prop. I'm finna wait. Let me go back to YouTube and put that back up. Cause I laughed my ass off. How dare you, my Negro? Oh damn, they changed it already? Well, ain't that something? They changed it already. Let me see if it's in my history. I hope it's in my history. They probably took it down because it was a live stream. Oh, wait, they have it up. Nice. Where's the prop? That I need. No, you asked about that was the minimum wage. Folk, I was dying with this prop, boy. I gotta play this again. We gotta play it. We gotta see it again. This man brought out. Oh no! What is going on? That's Georgia for you. Y'all Georgians love to show out.
Into this country.
Largest investment in the COPS program.
Fair
in a
use now.
decade. I introduced legislation called Invest to Protect that's endorsed by the sheriffs of Burke County and Scriven County because it supports some of our smaller law enforcement entities. So we got to stand up with law enforcement, but we've also got to create opportunity.
Senator Warnock, thank
That nigga love him some cops, boy. Go ahead, Herschel.
you. Mr. Walker, we're posing the same question to you, sir. In 1 minute, what should the next step be to solve violence?
Well, first of all, any law or bill passed that will affect anyone's Second Amendment, I'm not going to stand for and I won't support. But third, to hear Senator Warnock talks about
Nigga, how did you? Wait a minute, how'd you go from 1 to 3, my nigga? I just realized you said that. How you go from first of all to third of all? What? What? Oh, Samuel Logan, you got here late. They asked him about the abortion. I'm going to go back and play it. They did ask him about the abortion. But hang on, I want to finish this off. I want to see the prop come out.
It's sad because he's called them names. And because of the name caller he's done, the morale is down, recruitment is down, only because of what he's done. He's empowered criminals to think they're better than the police. And because he believes in no cash bail, is releasing prisoners, he don't protect the border. Fentanyl is coming to this country and also into
Jason
Atlanta.
is going to have a field day with this
70% of the
tomorrow.
drugs coming from the border goes to Atlanta, Georgia. And he talks about the police. I have more sheriffs that has endorsed me than anyone running in Georgia right now. And I even have some sheriffs here, and they've endorsed me because they know I have their back, they're gonna have my backs. So to listen to him say that after calling them name, I think is a disgrace.
Dinner's ready.
Mr. Walker, thank you. I have a follow-up.
Oh, Lord. Oh, Lord. Who killed him? Oh, damn. Hey, when it does
One
that.
thing I have not done, I've never pretended to be a police officer. And I've never
Watch this. Look at Herschel.
a shootout with the police.
Well, and now I have to respond to that.
We are moving on,
I have to
gentlemen.
respond to that. And you know what's so funny? I am work with many police officers, and at the same time,
Mr. Walker, Mr. Walker.
This nigga pulled out his PVA badge. He pulled out his PBA badge. Wait a minute, we gotta go back a little bit. Look at this, folk. Yo, he pulled out his PBA badge. Look at this. Hold on. Quiet mind. Like I remember what I told you. I said take the link and copy it, or when you click it, go up top or on the bottom. I don't know if you have an iPhone or Android, and say open in Chrome, or if you have an iPhone, just push the Safari logo on the bottom. That's the best way it's going to work, because once it redirects from the YouTube app, for some reason it doesn't work. But oh Lord, this look at this nigga, like he knocked the door and he said, "Hi, I'm Officer Walker, Georgia Ranger." Yo, he about to tell everybody his name is Mr. Tibbs. They call me Mr. Tibbs. Oh my God, no, he did not do this. He did not do this. Lord have mercy. I bet you, Herschel, I hope you don't take this get free food, bro. I hope you don't do this. This nigga, wait a minute. He over here wilding to go pay for food, and then they see the badge and like, oh, you're a cop. Oh, here you go. You can have it for free. Okay, thank you. What? Dude, you gave this state a championship. You were the NFL. People know you, sir. What how Nick and them said it back? Nick and Patty, Nick and them and old boy said yesterday, baby, what is you doing? What is you doing? Oh, come on, bruh. Bruh. Come on. Bruh, he is gonna be a meme within now. Yes, he is Walker, Georgia Ranger. You gotta be kidding me, bruh. You whipped this out. Oh my God. No, he didn't. But Samuel Logan, we gonna do it for you, bro. Let's find where he was talking about the abortion. Here you go.
Of Georgia, and that's who I represent. So what the people of Georgia stand for, I'm going to stand with them.
Thank you, Mr. Walker. Senator.
The people.
Here you go. Oh, you ain't finna mess up right now.
Abortion, I'm a Christian. I believe in.
Mr. Walker, a week before this debate, a former girlfriend made public accusations saying you paid for an abortion and that you encouraged her to have another. In an ABC News interview this week, you said that the accusations are, quote, all lies. For the voters watching tonight, can you explain the circumstances surrounding these claims? You have 60 seconds.
Well, as I said, that's a lie. And, most thing I put it in a book. One thing about my life is I've been very transparent. Not like the senator. He's hid things. But at the same time, I said that's a lie. And on abortion, I'm a Christian. I believe in life. And I tell people this, Georgia is a state that respects life, and I'll be a senator that protects life. And I said that was a lie, and I'm not backing down. And when you have Senator Warnock, people that would do anything and say anything for this seat, but I'm not going to back down, because this seat is too important to the Georgia people for me to back down right now.
All right, there you go. He said it's a lie. He said it was a lie. Where is it? I got to put that up again. Where is it? Where is it? Where? Damn, I should have. I know it was like we need to keep that. We need to keep that up. Damn it. Where is the badge? I need that again. Don't deny me, please. Why is this not going up? Hey, why is this screen not going up? All right, we go back to this. Go back to this. I need that. Damn, I should have time stamped it. Here is the badge. Need the badge. Where's the
Now I
badge?
have more sheriff that has.
There you go.
So to listen.
Now, for both of you. Seconds to
Officers in Cobb County, the police officers never.
Well, and now I have to respond to that.
we are moving on,
I have to
gentlemen.
respond to that. And at the same time, I am with many.
We gotta have that. What is the time stand? 32:22. Oh, we need that. Hang on, let's see if it worked. Quatman, hello.
Hello, you hear me?
Yes, ma'am. I can hear you now.
Yeah, I actually thought Herschel, I was impressed. I think he has had some coaching, and I think that he is not as dumb as they try to make him. He just country, like Kira said.
Yes, ma'am. No, well, what it was is they tried to pull that concussion stuff on him, and that wasn't gonna work because people are very sensitive about concussions and head injuries in this country, so that wasn't gonna work. But you also got to understand, this man has a lot of gravitas in this state, as y'all know. He brought y'all a champion. He brought Georgia a championship. You bring in this state a championship, you're golden for life.
But did you see that that Charlemagne, that little show that Charlemagne the God has with Mike on it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I saw the whole thing. He's
Yeah,
right.
so Charlemagne brought something correct up, because Charlemagne from the country too, and he said something to the effect of how Herschel sounds like them. He sounds, he doesn't give all of the kind of politician answers, and we saw in this debate he is able to very directly say yes, no, and he was able to argue his point, which I was hoping that he would.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but that's the thing too. Y'all gotta understand. That's his advantage. He's not a politician, and his other advantage is he can talk for the regular people. That's why I said he's gonna win, because he can get that white vote easy.
And I think he has a chance. Like I think they. I don't know. Because all I've heard from him is those sound bites that the media, they cut out all of his stuff, and they always trying to make him look stupid. And I remember watching Breaking Points once, where he used kind of a euphemism to get his point across, and they were acting like, what is he talking about? What is he saying? And I'm from Alabama, and I understood him perfectly, but I thought that was interesting that I don't know, people from either they don't understand the euphemisms, or they're married to the idea that he's just dumb. I couldn't really tell what they were getting at.
No, they think all country people dumb. That's one thing about this country I don't like. They really think country people are stupid. And I've told people, y'all better not sleep on the South. I really think the South is a lot smarter than the North.
Well, it's crazy, because we got NASA in freaking Alabama. NASA is in Alabama. All those former slaves that went on to invent all that stuff, they're from the South. Some of our best minds are Southern.
They keep all the dangerous diseases. They keep the dangerous diseases in the South.
Well, one of the interesting things I always bring up too is that they're always about all the homelessness and stuff in these places that have been flooded by all them illegal immigrants. But, you know, like in the South, for example, they talk about how it's the poorest, they're the poorest state, but you know, when you're driving through Georgia and Alabama and Mississippi, you don't see all them homeless folks, you know.
Nah.
Cost of living is still low. Of course, there is disenfranchisement of poor Black folks, you know, so that's something I want to see. But I also think that Black people can get more if at least a good 20% of us will show a willingness to defect from the Democrat Party. You know, I think
I think you're going to see that in these midterms.
yeah. So what I go back and forth as well on those MAGA candidates. You know, like the rhetoric that I usually hear is that like they're the worst thing ever, yada yada. But for
You got to
me,
understand.
they my favorite.
She dropped out. That was not me. But she brought up the MAGA candidates. Y'all got to understand, again, I said this. I said this in, what's the name, Black Alpha space, in Beatzilla space. The other day. Y'all got to understand, MAGA, for the most part, hold on one second. You there?
Oh, sorry. I got I don't know if the thing updated or if I got kicked out or what. But the last thing I heard was talking about the MAGA candidates. What's your thoughts on?
Yeah, y'all got to understand. I said this in Beatzilla and Black Alpha's room the other day. A lot of MAGA, because I talked to them, a lot of them are not Republican like that. Like they some of them do identify with Republicans, but most of them left the Democrat Party. Most of them think libertarian. So once you understand that, then you'll understand their mentality. They're more one to follow the Constitution and the Bill of Rights than trying to usurp everybody else. So these MAGA she kicked off again. So these MAGA candidates, they're going to talk. You got to think the MAGA candidate is like an all lives matter candidate. That's how you got to think. Yeah, that's how you got to look at them. Like they're just going to talk for everybody because they want everybody to be succinct. All right, let's try this again. I don't think
if it kicks me out again, I'll just stay gone. I don't know why it keeps kicking me out. But I don't want to keep messing up your stream. If it kicks me again, I'll stay out. But yeah, like I actually think that there are actually four major political parties right now. I think there are progressives and then traditional Democrats, and then there are MAGAs, and then there are the so-called rhinos. I think that we have four political parties right now masquerading as two.
Yeah, well, that's what it is now. You got the far left, you got the traditional moderate Democrat, and then you got the center right, and then you got the extremists. I guess you could put MAGA somewhere in the middle of those two. And you know, there's actually a fifth one, and that's the centrist, like the true centrist.
Yes, I actually think too, one of the reasons that Black voters keep being pushed aside is because, especially our parents, you know, a lot of them don't know that they're not voting for themselves. They don't know that they're really voting for like transgender bathrooms, you know, open borders and war. They don't know.
All that too. Them same voters, they be the main ones going to church on Sunday, but you voting for transgenders on Tuesday.
Yeah, because they don't know. They're low information. And they're not aware. Like it has taken a lot of work for me to try to educate my parents and you know, tell them that the Black Caucus isn't even advocating for us at this point. They're advocating for illegal immigrants. And what, like, okay, so
they don't like her. They don't like her. I wanted to hear that question. But yeah, but this is who they want us to. Well, Quatman, if you come back in, just put it in the chat and I'll answer it. This is who they want. These are the Negroes that are telling us to vote Democrat. These Negroes. This Negro, Mr. Informant Shuffle himself. I saw that on Twitter. I had to steal it. It makes me laugh every time I hear Informant Shuffle. She's back. They don't like you.
One more question, and I will leave. I want to know what you think about the whole illegal immigrant question. I am one that believes that our numbers are much higher, but they're obviously trying to flood the country with them. Do you think that there are enough MAGAs that are elected? Do you think that they will be able to aggressively start putting in like the E-Verify things and stuff like that to kind of maybe starve them out a little bit so that, if they're here, they're not comfortably here? What do you think?
To hell with illegal immigration. And I hope the House and Senate get the Democrats, because I know they'll shut it down by January 1st. That's how I'm going to run that. That's how we going to do that. I ain't for illegal immigration. And you talking to someone whose parents were immigrants. I ain't with that, man. If you can't do that test, take your ass back to your country and try again. Fuck. I'm telling you, if the Republicans get the House and Senate, I swear to God, they will shut down that border January 1st. Let me see before I bring in Jay the informant. Brittany Chavez, welcome. What's wrong with getting Walker in office and persuade him to do something for the FBA? You can try, but I think he's too ingrained with them white folk. I don't know. He hasn't talked about reparations, and I don't know if he wants it. So there's that. Jay the informant, hello.
Yo, can you hear me? Am I coming through clear?
Yes, sir.
Like, yo, I
Yes,
just
sir.
want to land my point on this, man. We've been calling your boy Herschel Walker. I ain't gonna say your boy, my bad on that. We've been calling Walker the village idiot for the longest, but in that debate, we could tell that there were two idiots on that freaking panel today, man.
Yes, and we called Bush the village idiot, and he got 8 years.
8 freaking years. You know, I'm not gonna endorse freaking but I have to give it to him, man. He won this debate, man. Like, I mean, Warnock. I mean,
he won.
I'll give it to him, man. He won.
Bro, he won just off the strength of this on the screen. He won off of that. The white boys they're gassing up the pickup trucks right now to go vote for him on Monday.
Yes, man. And I would hope, I actually hope that he does get more of the black vote than what they're projected. Like, because I don't see
he's
why
going to get about 15%. I think he's going to get 15%.
I want to project around 25%. I'm hoping. I'm not listening to CNN. I'm not taking CNN serious, man.
Yeah, you're banking on
Well, let me restate that then.
He'd have to. Herschel Walker would have to fracture Atlanta to get 25%. I don't know if he can do it. He has to take a good chunk out of Warnock in Atlanta and the surrounding areas for him to get 25%. I don't see that. I think he can win with 15 and get the conservative Hispanics and the white boys on his side. He'll win easily.
Okay. So he gets the conservative Hispanics. He gets the which I don't believe Hispanics are much of the population in Georgia. He gets the white vote. But the black vote, which is what I'm really trying to, I really want them to get away from the Democrats, because I did look at the polls and it was saying that 12% of the voting population is voting. 12% is voting third party, and I don't blame them for
Candace Taylor, but she didn't make it. I hope she's a write-in, but I don't know if she's a write-in. Then she's gonna be, if she's on that ballot, she's gonna siphon that black vote. I already know that.
I hope so, and if it does, that's gonna be the Democrats that's right there. Because usually when there's a third party, Democrat voters, Democrat politicians suffer the most, and usually that's going to come to the Democrat. Whoever's running Democrat, they're usually going to suffer on that. That's why the Democrats don't allow third parties, because they're supposed to be the party of every person. Then you have this other third party that's also saying that we're the party for everybody too, and Democrats lose votes, and that's a good thing because the Democrats actually, I cannot see. I talked to people. I talked to this woman. She was 60. I want to say 4. I believe she told me she was 64. And I was asking her, because I live in Texas. I said, "Why do you vote for Sheila Jackson Lee?" And she actually responded to me, telling me that she votes for Sheila Jackson Lee because Sheila Jackson Lee makes her feel good. And I was like, "What?" And this is the problem that we have.
Wait. She said she votes for the jerk chicken jackass because it makes her feel good.
Sheila
And you
Jackson.
wonder why Jason Black said you can't trust these old niggas. She
Unfortunately,
probably
yes.
loves what Opal Lee did.
Yes, unfortunately, yes. But I'm hoping that we get a lot. I want to see a black wave. What I mean by black wave, over 20% of black people getting away from the Democratic Party. I believe that's going to send the message that we need to send, because you're not going to get these older voters to switch up. I don't know why, but you can't convince them, man. I don't think they know what they're voting for.
We don't need them. They hear Medicaid and they vote for the person that says it.
Yeah, even though they don't do that.
They don't care about the economy after that. Because once you talk about you're gonna shorten their Medicaid, that means you don't like me. I ain't voting for you. But when you up my Medicaid, that means I get more of my Social Security. So it's all good. I'm gonna vote for you. Nah. And by the way, Warnock lied, because in August, Kemp opened up a little bit of that Medicaid. So he lied on that. But that's okay. That's all right. He didn't know. He didn't know. He still had Marcel in his ear from when he yelled at him. It's okay. I give him a pass.
I give Marcel credit too, man. Marcel went out there and did his thing, man. So support to that brother right there. But I'm telling you, man, like these older folks, man. I'm still talking to them over here in Texas, man. But from what I've seen, majority of them are back. Even though Beto came out in that debate and he said last week in that debate that he's willing to let more illegals over on a work permit. And I'm like, what's that going to do for your kids? You know what I mean? Like, what is that going to do for your kids that they want to get into the construction jobs and all that? They're going to suffer. I don't think they're thinking about their future generation. I think they're just thinking about.
Beto, I know y'all think Beto ain't going to win. He ain't going to win. This is his test run to go back on that debate stage next year for the Democrat National Convention, Democrat National Debates. That's all that is. He wants people. This is all about people reminding him who he is. Because he got lost in the shuffle being transportation secretary. He don't want to be in Washington no more right now.
Hold on. No, you're talking about butt cheeks, booty chick.
Right, booty chick, whatever.
Yeah, I'm talking about Beto.
Fuck Beto anyway. Yeah, fuck Beto. Anyway, yeah, Beto's only doing this so he can get back into the spotlight. Because I'm telling you right now, folks, and y'all hold me to this. Next year, you will see Matthew McConaughey on that stage. I'm telling you right now. Yes.
Why not join
with gun lobbyists? He's been meeting with gun lobbyists in Washington.
I don't see him winning though, man. Like, even if he runs third party.
If Trump runs, they're picking him. Him and Beto are going to be the Texas tornado to go against Trump and whoever he runs with. I'm telling you that right now.
Okay. I don't know, man.
They loved it when he came out after Uvalde. He's already one up on Trump.
You know what? Because you also had Dwayne Johnson come out. He came out 2 days ago talking about he might be running for the president in 2024 again.
He said it's not in the cards anymore.
Are you sure? Because I just saw what was that, like 2 days ago.
He said it's not in the cards anymore.
You might want to check up on that, man. But that's all I want to say, man.
That's cool.
All right, take it easy, man.
Yeah, that's yeah. He said that a week ago. Brother Jay, he said that a week ago. He said it's off the table. I think what you saw was this Washington Examiner report that said he seriously considered running for the presidency. And I knew that. He was thinking about running in 2020 before everything went to hell. Let's see. Let's go back to the chat. Look at this picture, man. The memes, boy. All right, let's see. Let's see. Deidre James, hello. Are y'all okay with women's right to choose being taken away, cuts in Social Security and Medicaid? I'm both. I'm pro-life and pro-choice because I'm pro-accountability. So if you do what you do, you better be prepared for the consequences that come with it. I hope that answered that part of the question. Cuts in Social Security and Medicare. I'm not in favor of it, but it has to be changed because Social Security is about to run out by the time we get old. What the American government needs to do is go back to a currency system that is backed by gold and silver, which I'll give y'all a little taste. That's why they're really going to war with Russia. A lot of people don't want to tell you that. Russia has been working with its coalition called BRICS, which is Brazil, Russia, Iran, China, and South Africa. And they're trying to establish a monetary system where it's backed by precious metals like gold and silver. So their dollars will be strengthened. Our dollars are not strengthened by anything except voter confidence, which is not good. Okay. Here we go. Republicans are going to take rights away, period. You sure about that? Sure about that? I love this talking point that Republicans are going to take your rights away. Really? Because I've seen Democrats take more of our rights away than anybody. Democrats are the ones that run on TV every other day talking about gun rights and gun control. Yet how come outside of these major cities, you barely have gun crime where you allow guns? You say Republicans are going to take away people's rights. Okay, Deidre, you're asking great questions. I appreciate this. Voting rights. India, thank you, Jane Informer. India. I don't know why I said Iraq. I mean Iran. Yes, India. Thank you. Voting rights. Really? Sure about that? Voting rights. Again, I'm down here in Georgia. Kemp changed the laws. Nobody complained. Record number of turnout during the primary. I don't think that's taking away people's rights. Why? Because they said you can't have food and drink online? Imagine if a Republican did that and they won an election. Democrats would be yelling bloody murder in the streets. Y'all, Stacey Abrams ran around and said voter suppression, voter suppression, voter suppression. She was doing it since 2013. She almost caused two major companies in this state, Delta and Coca-Cola. They were talking about leaving. You're talking about taking thousands of jobs with you, with them, because of lies she told about these voting laws. When everybody can easily just go on the state website and read what they amended. They gave you an extra day. They gave you longer times. They still allowed mail-in voting. The Democrats want it opened up for illegal people to vote that are not citizens. They tried that in New York, and New York is Democratic. They're a blue state. They really tried in New York City to let illegal immigrants vote. What do you think they're trying to do in Chicago right now? They're on the precipice of next year voting for a mayor that's a Republican, which has been years since that happened. Okay. You're going to hate my answer for this, Deidre. What's wrong with my disabled mother can't get a drink of water while standing in line for 11 hours? If your disabled mother is standing in line for 11 hours, I suggest she goes back the next day. Because I don't know what state she's in, but I don't know nobody that's going to stand in line for 11 hours. What's wrong with going to the store before you vote to get a gallon of water and a sandwich? Georgia, perfect. Again, I voted in the primaries. I was online for 5 minutes at 6 o'clock where everybody's getting off work. 5 minutes. I was in and out of there in 15 minutes. From when I parked to when I went back in the car, 15 minutes. I don't know where your mother lives. I don't think she was standing online for 11 hours unless she was doing that in 2020. Because trust me, if your disabled mother was standing online for 11 hours, WSB, Fox 5, 11 Alive, CBS 46, they all would have been interviewing her. Just to make Kemp look bad. So I don't know if that was 2020 or this year. I'm not dissing your mother, ma'am. I have sympathy for her, but what you're saying does not compute. I do have sympathy. I voted in 2020 when I was in New York. My wife and I weren't on the line that long. We were gone maybe an hour. And that's only because it was the last weekend to do early voting. How? Okay. Was it this year or was it 2020? I just need some context. Was it this year or was it 2020? Dark skinned brother, welcome back. Because I'm sorry, I can't believe your mother was waiting online for 11 hours. I can't believe that. That's crazy. That they would have been spotlighted on the news. Because that's something the Democrats that's something the Democrats would have been all over. I need to know if that was 2020 or was it this year. I need to know that. There you go. Thank you. 2020, when the laws were messed up, when everybody had the mail-in voting. Okay. I'm talking about now when they changed the law. Okay, that's fine. Okay, you gave me the context though, ma'am. You said it was 2020. I'm talking about after he changed the law. He changed the law in 2021. Nobody had a problem down here. I don't know if your mother voted yet. If she did the primaries or not. I guarantee you when they start voting, there's not going to be long lines. I guarantee you this. You basically have 3 weeks to go vote. Let's see. McFack, hello. What's up, everyone? So is voter suppression real in Georgia? Are they keeping people from voting? No. There's no voter suppression down here. I don't understand why people keep bumping that narrative. There's no voter suppression down here. There's none. We will see how this all turns out, but I already know what's up. Okay, well, we shall see. I envision the first day there's going to be long lines. Probably the first week, there'll be the longest lines. And then every week after that, up until November 8th, well, I'll say November 7th, it'll start to go down. November 8th will probably have the largest traffic after that because it's the last day and people like to procrastinate. But back to this. There's no voter suppression in Georgia. Stacey tried that, but her candidate in her party won. but she didn't stop. She kept it going. She didn't keep it going. She won. There's no voter suppression down here because even when they asked her about it in September of 2020, she said there was voter suppression. Even had her people getting arrested at City Hall. Then she does an interview 6 months later and lies and says she never said it. Funny how that works. Then went on TV and bitched about the laws that Kemp changed and took millions of dollars away from this state because they ran with that narrative because they figured she was the smartest person in the room. Come to find out it was all BS, and now Coca-Cola and Delta look crazy out here. Do you understand Stacey Abrams' word was this close to having Marvel talking about they were going to move their productions to Tennessee? I know people out in Hollywood. Disney was seriously considering, they had people on the ground looking at spaces to build facilities in Tennessee. A state that has no income tax. Do you know how much money they would have been saving? But this is who y'all telling me. This is the person that this buck dancing Negro is telling me that I need to go vote for. Here we go. Voter suppression is real. I was born in the early 60s. I'd like to know, are you a Democrat or a Republican? I would like to know that, Deidre. I would like to know if you're a Democrat or a Republican. Because I voted in 2004, I voted in 2008, 2012, 2016, and 2020. I was never suppressed. It's funny that y'all keep saying voter suppression, yet the Democrats are pandering to the one group that comes out the most for them. How the hell is there suppression? And they keep winning. They're 4-1 right now. In the last 16 years. No. Last 14 years, they're 4-1. That ain't what I asked you. Okay, so you don't belong to a party. So how are you suppressed if you're voting your interest? How are you suppressed? McFack said, so it's just as I suspected, the voting rights thing is really about the undocumented getting the right to vote, so it nullifies black vote. They're trying to make us number 4. I've told you guys that on streams. They're trying to make us number 4, so we have no political power in this country. That's why I keep telling y'all got to make sure the 2022 midterms is our last shot. We screw this up, we might as well give up our right to vote. That's what the Democrats want. They feel us. They feel the majority of black people leaving. They see it. They need to replace the cupboard. Do y'all understand the power? We can destroy the Democratic Party in 4 years. We can do it. I know a lot of people don't realize it's we can destroy the Democrat Party in 4 years. Quatman, this is from DJ James. Quatman, everyone does not have ID, computers, or cars, which holds people back. How are you living in this country without ID? Wait a minute. How do you, wait a minute. Hold up. I got to put the hat up. Wait a minute. What do you, If you don't have ID, then you shouldn't be voting. I don't understand what this problem is, which y'all not. So you're supposed to just give your name and they're supposed to just take that? I'm not understanding something. How do you not have ID in this country and you're black? I need that explained to me. Here we go. Here we go. Who wants to tell her? I want Judeo white Christian nationalism. No, I don't want white people fucking with me. How about that? It ain't about wanting white Christian nationalism. I don't want white people fucking with me for no reason. I need an ID to drive my car. I need an ID to go get alcohol when I need it. You think, what do you mean? What? Wait a minute. You work with people that don't have the money to purchase an ID? Are you serious? What state you live in? I need to know what state you live in. I need to know what state you live in. Please tell me what state you live in. I'll give you context. New York, you can get a state ID. You don't need to pay a dime for it. All you have to do is go to the library. Fill out an application online or go to the library. You'll have one in 2 weeks. And you don't have to pay a dime for it. I need to know what state you live in, Deidre. I need to know what state you live in or work in. I need that. By the way, Georgia, 97% of the people in this state have ID. So if you're fixing to tell me that 3% of people leaving margin for error are the ones messing up the system, and Dean, have you ever met poor people? Ma'am, I've been poor. What are you talking about? I've been poor. I grew up in a working class family. What are you saying? My parents were working poor. My dad worked 2 jobs and went to school and went to college. My mom did the same thing. She worked 2 jobs and went to college. Pregnant with me, by the way. I grew up poor and they moved us up. I married my wife. We were not in the best financial situation. I got us up to middle class. I know what being poor is. You're not finna tell me in this country you can't scrape together some money, get an ID. I know for a fact that state programs, if people are coming out of jail or in a substance abuse program, they bust their ass and get them IDs because they know you're going to need it to go get a job. Matter of I accidentally saw your feed. I jumped on to see what you had to say. What do you mean you accidentally jumped on? So you trolling? Please tell me you're not trolling. I hope you're not trolling. This is serious. I hope you're not trolling. So voter suppression is figment of Fatland Martin's mind. It's not a figment. He really thinks this. Mind you, folks. I got to screenshot this before I get out of here because that's just funny. That might be my new. This here, folk. This might be my new screen, my new display on my computer. I'm not even gonna lie to you. I might have to meme this up and put this as my background on my computer. This is funny. So, okay, let's see. What she say? No, I don't. She said, no, I don't troll. I saw your feed and wanted to see the debate. I mean, you're asking great questions. I'm not mad at that. It's just you're what you're saying makes it doesn't make sense. You can't operate in this country without an ID. We've seen this. Cops will harass you if you don't have ID or you don't pull it out fast enough. They will screw with you. My nose was itchy. Y'all leave me alone. I see immigrants on the streets selling oranges and limes in Miami, New York. No excuses. She said, "That's it, but I love your feedback." Cool. I appreciate that. Stay safe out there. And if you can, subscribe to the channel. You don't even have to put on the bell. Don't even put on the bell if you don't want to. But I'll take the extra. I'll take the extra subscribe. I'll take that. But yeah, folks. What was I saying now? Damn it. Wait a minute. What was I saying? Oh yeah. Roland Martin. Same one who keeps saying there's voter suppression. I don't know how. But Roland. I know somebody hooked to Roland. Can you explain this?
I got good news, y'all. We usually do the front page right here.
Can you explain this, Roland? I hope he has the video. He probably don't have the video. You cocksucker. You don't have the video. I need the video. I don't need the audio. I need the here it is. Folks, come on.
This is Friendship Baptist Church.
Folks.
Super voting site in Dallas. Look at this, y'all.
Folk, this man is crying because he saw black folks going to a church, going to vote, and the line was long, acting like we just got the right to vote. This nigga is sitting in his Suburban crying.
Look at these cars.
Nigga, who sent you outside to do this?
Massive line. Holes only been open.
Nigga, you crying over people. You over here crying because black folk are voting. Son. Sir. You are crying because you're seeing black people on the line voting. We've been voting since the 60s with long lines. What are we doing, sir? What are we doing? I know what we're doing. Rolling. This is what we're doing. Are we doing this?
Are you a white supremacist?
No, I'm not a white supremacist.
The free labor from black people. America to become generated from that. But I asked you again, okay?
Figured out another way.
Wait, this might not be the video. Roland, are we doing this, sir? You sat there and had the preeminent white supremacists on your screen in your studio. You could smell this dude's breath. Roland. This is what we're doing. You out there crying.
No, I have in my life. I don't. I mean, as a mainstream, I have in my. There was slavery.
Without greatness, without other people making that happen.
We could have figured
the ideals that they wrote on a sheet of paper that they were white Americans.
Where is it?
Stafford. Say right there. Hold on one second. World, can you somehow say, oh,
where is it?
Maybe
think of we need to
Christ, your Lord and Savior.
No, I have in my life. I don't. I mean, look, let's.
Sexist because if a person's a woman, identifies as a woman.
Okay.
So I'm a man. Identify
Nigga.
as a man.
Nigga.
Okay.
Identify as a man.
I like the term alt-right, first off.
That's what we
and
do
I
with
also like the
Roland.
term identitarian because it gets at what I am, what I believe.
And what is
Roland.
that?
Identity is at the heart of my ideology. So
And
you
what's
have
that
to
identity?
Race is a foundation of that identity, undoubtedly.
Now race is simply a creation of mankind. That's a construct. It doesn't exist. I mean, bottom line is, no, I know who I am. First of all, I'm Roland Martin. I'm a man.
You a man?
I'm a man.
Do you
first.
identify as a black man?
Oh, first of all, I identify as a man.
Okay.
Identify as a
Wasn't
man.
that sexist?
No, actually, it's not sexist because if a person.
Nigga. Nigga. Nigga, you are no threat, sir. You are no threat. You identify as a man and a Christian. You're not a threat to black people. Sir, from November 22nd, 2016, sir, you have not been a threat. You got all these coons in your comment thread putting you over. Don't even realize what the hell you said. Do y'all understand that comment thread? This Negro, them Negroes in there don't realize what that man just said. He disarmed about 80% of y'all with what he just said. Yes, Deidre, please cook yourself some dinner. It's nice. It's nice to see black people cooking on a Friday night. And the moon is right. Gonna have some fun. Show you how it's done. TGIF. Don't go there. Their food is not that good. But anyway. Yes, Anthony Ali. It was embarrassing. That nigga identified with everything except a black man. Richard Spencer knew what he was doing. He said, this Negro is safe.
And I also like the term identitarian because it gets at what I am and what I believe.
And what is that?
Let me just dislike
identity
it for the
is
phone.
at the heart of my ideology. So
And
you
what's
have
that
to
identity?
Race is a foundation of that identity, undoubtedly.
Now race is simply a creation of mankind. That's a construct. It doesn't exist. I mean, bottom line is, no, I know who I am. First of all, I'm Roland Martin. I'm a man.
Okay.
I'm a man.
Do you
first.
identify as a black man?
Oh, first of all, I identify as a man.
Okay.
A man. He had to make sure he had to put that extra sass on the end. A man. Nigga, where you come from, the 70s? I'm a man. I'm Mr. Martin. My name is Roland. Hear me, bitch. I'm a Christian. Jesus is not my homeboy. He is the creation, the Alpha and the Omega. I'm finna cry in my 2021 Suburban. Deidre James said, hey, when are you on next? Well, tomorrow I will be doing a simulcast here on YouTube at 12 o'clock with a reparations candidate out of North Carolina. That will be in a Twitter space. So you can check that out. And then 2 o'clock, I will be with Black Alpha Network on his channel talking about politics. But back to Roland. You are Richard Spencer. And you're on my show. Let's see. Do you take calls? I do when I decide to open the restream link. I do. I already did 2 today. Usually I don't. Sometimes I may feel a little frisky, and I might put it out there just to let the folk chime in a little bit, like I did today, because it was the debate and it was going to be hilarious. So I let them come in, but usually I don't. That's what we have the chat for. And let everybody get their thoughts out there, because a lot of people don't like to talk verbally on YouTube. But yeah. But I'm rolling Martin. Man. Oh, Lord. Oh, Lord. Hey, Roland, guess what happened? You were early, sir.
See, the more you fuck around, the more you're going to find out.
After that, blood, I don't know what you were doing that day. But it's all good, brother. You got it. You got it. You got it. I'm gonna stop clowning you. All right, folks. I think, wow, it's almost 2 hours. I did not think I was going to be on that long. Well, the debate was about 55 minutes. I came in late and then replayed it, so it was about an hour there. But, respect to Quapmon and Jay the Informant for coming through. And shout out to Codified Truck and M. Flournoy over on Patreon. Patreon.com/KidGravity. If you want to come to the Patreon, we got some fun stuff over there. I'm still trying to figure out how to put up this video of my wife cutting fish. I think y'all will enjoy that video. I taught her how to fillet fish for the first time. She's never filleted a fish. It was quite an experience. I'm going to do more of those videos. I think I'm going to do one a month, maybe 2 a month. Cooking videos. And some exclusive uploads for y'all before I put it on YouTube. Things that I can't really say straight on YouTube without them saying something to me. Cool. But yeah, but I'm gonna get up out of here, and because Beatzilla show's about to start, and I want to rest up for that a little bit. But I like how y'all was live in the chat. But yeah, man. If y'all got a little bit of coins, I know some of y'all got paid today. You hit the Cash App. But yeah, let's get up out of here, folks. Let's get up out of here. All right, y'all. Take care. Stay safe. And y'all know what to do when y'all see the white supremacists.